Hello and welcome back to the old dropped frames. What are we, 295 this week? Did I say 294 last week, Zeke? I think?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and today is 296. Sorry. God damn it. My improv training fails me.
What?
I'm trying to yes and you.
Oh. I don't know what just happened, guys.
I'm confused.
Cody didn't miss much.
Yeah.
I was watching the Game Award nominations yesterday, which we'll go through here in just a bit probably. And I realized the last time you were on the show was before Deathloop came out, which seems like a millennia ago.
It really does.
A lot has come and gone since then, I suppose. It's yeah, because no one on the show liked it. I think we had Jericho on that week, and he was actually a big fan. But yeah, we will have to talk about that game and the fact that it's nominated for quite literally everything at the Game Awards. But yeah, anyways, how's it going, Cohh? How's the kid? Is everything safe and sound?
It is going. You know, it's I've kind of given updates throughout the journey that is everything here. The old house is finally pretty much on the way out. I spent my last big time there just this week, actually. So that's on the way out. The big renovation in the new studio is going well. This has actually been the week of like drywall and mudding. They're getting the AC stuff done, the bathroom all done. Like they're getting all the
Almost
pieces
done.
in. Yeah, we're shooting for a mid-December kind of like vision completion, and then for the rest of the year they'll start adding in all the little accent and flavor stuff. So very excited about that. They want me in by the new year, actually streaming from the new studio, so I'm very excited about that. Kids doing great, starting to smile, which is adorable. That's always a very fun thing to work through. And yeah, Roan's doing great, Kai's doing great, Lena's doing great. Things are just plugging along, man.
How are the horses,
It's been a lot going on. So.
People want to know about the horses. How are the horses?
Horses are great.
Okay.
Horses are great. We not only are the horses doing well, but we cleared out almost 9 acres on our new land, and we cleared that out. It used to be all forest, and it's now cleared out and it's seeded and becoming new pasture. So they're going to have a very nice home at some point in the future.
Yeah,
which is good.
That's big. So. That's a lot. What about the chickens? Are the chickens still getting hit by the hawks? I remember that was a thing.
No. Our lead cock.
What's the chicken? Okay, the head cock
has wrestled the hawks into submission. Yeah, they're actually doing well now. We not only have we have 2 flocks.
Okay.
We've got the main flock with Big John. That's our lead cock, and he is that's his little flock.
He's the
and
cock.
And then we got a bunch of chicks, and they're now coming into their own. They're in the pasture with the horses, and not only did we get a bunch of chicks, which are now becoming chickens, but we also at the time got 4 turkeys. Or gobbles, and they are now actually starting to grow up too. So eventually, we'd like to get the flocks together and have one uber flock with turkeys and chickens.
Are they nervous about the coming week? You know?
No, they're not big enough yet. Okay. No, but the turkeys we have are definitely they're family turkeys, so we don't plan on eating them.
Okay. Yet. Gotcha. Right.
That's the question I wanted to ask. Like,
step out of line.
Like that's the question I wanted to ask. Like all of these animals that are besides the horses that are typically eaten, are they just pets or like? And I mean, I'm sure they give you eggs, but like, do you raise them up to chow on them later?
No, we don't. We do not raise to eat. We raise as pets. Absolutely. So the big things that our flocks do is chickens are not only awesome at providing eggs and stuff like that, but they're also fantastic at keeping down the population of very invasive, not fun to be around insects. So like chickens, you send out a flock of chickens in your yard, and they will like eat every single tick that's there, and they won't even allow them to get like a presence, which is super cool. They also eat like all sorts of other types of things that you don't want near or on you, and they're just overall pretty great. So. Yeah, they're really, really fun animals. They're super sweet. All of our chickens you like feed out of your hands and stuff, and they're really fun.
Do you have any dogs?
They all got names. My kids named them all and everything. So
Yeah. What was that?
Do you have any dogs?
Oh, the dog.
Dogs?
Yeah. Got
Oh,
any
dog
dogs?
has no problem with it. Booker. My dog is Booker DeWitt, and he has no issues with
Right.
chickens. In fact, we
He
like
doesn't
him
like
outside.
chase them or kill them or nothing. Okay.
Nope, not at all. He basically kind of ignores them. They
You're
sometimes will come up and
influencing
sit
me,
in.
is what I'm saying. Like, I might want to get chickens.
Dude, chickens are
Like,
fantastic. They're so cool.
Like,
Like I
we
highly,
have
highly recommend them.
a sizable yard for where we live. I mean, we live in the suburbs, but our yard is big. Our house is not. I mean, our house is smaller than the plot of land. Like, I could definitely put additions on, but I like having a big yard for our dogs. And I'm just wondering, like you said about like eating bugs and ticks and stuff, like that'd be great for our yard.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, if
Don't-
there's city ordinances, like you can't have chickens or something like that.
There
Like,
might be.
are they
You
gonna
need to
fly
check
over
for
my
those.
fucking fence or something?
You absolutely need to check for those. And a lot of cities actually over the COVID thing, chickens got wildly popular because a lot of people wanted to have eggs at home.
Oh,
So it was actually hard to find chickens for a while, which is weird because normally it's super easy. But yeah, just check your city
Okay.
ordinances, and then all you need to do, you can get like coop kits for however many chickens you want, and you literally just mail order these things. You come, you set them up, and then it's just a matter of cleaning them every so often, and feeding them and keeping them watered and stuff, and they're pretty much good to go.
I'm being told by my resident Denverite that chickens are not allowed where I'm at. So
oh,
that's
Well,
unfortunate.
thankfully you're pretty young and have plenty of time to move.
True.
that's true.
Very true.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. I think Dodger and Strippin have chickens. I think they got some chickens over COVID. Now that you mention it, so maybe that's the new thing. Some streamers are out there buying Lambos and supercars. Others are buying chickens.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting. Bring that up. I haven't yet decided what my midlife crisis car is going to be.
Yeah.
I need to really talk to some other streamers and figure that out yet. Like the M5's good, but it's kind of family oriented.
Yeah.
I need something that really screams insecurity. Preferably loudly from its exhaust. So I'm gotta figure that out. I was gonna get a Tesla, but Musk is just such an asshole.
You
I
could
don't
go
wanna
with a
get
Porsche. Get a Porsche. What is it? A Taycan? A Taycan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Lyric actually posted one of those recently. I
Yeah.
think he's looking at those.
They're like 150,
just
160. They
Dad
get-
car for me. I need something that's grittier, has rougher edges. I need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have a 2021 Jeep Rubicon.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
We're
Does it
loving
have
that.
the mean eyes for the headlights?
Oh, it does not yet. We're
Oh.
thinking about
Mandatory
tricking
mod.
it out, getting one of those those mufflers or whatever that go up, so you can
so you
go
can
mud
go
bogging.
mudding. Yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
Aaron-
Getting the 4 lights on top, so we can, shine down on
Also,
We
deer or
actually have
whatever we
versions
chase.
of those, by the way, that have like a little tube, and then you can point it at the car next to you and just exhaust right into their windows.
Oh my god, that'd be a great mod to put. It's like hit a button and the thing goes like the exhaust goes right at you. It's like fucking next person in traffic.
Yeah.
Or if you have a
Work out.
passenger that's being unruly, you just kind of tilt it inside, kind of right in their face.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
get them the message.
That would work out. Well, keep
Oh,
us
speaking of that,
updated.
when my dad did this, he did the same thing. He got like a Hummer H3 or something, and when he went through his whole midlife thing, and he called it his midlife Chrysler, which
Oh,
I think
I
is
like
a good
it.
term for it.
Oh, that's good.
it's apt.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Well, let's tackle some news. The biggest news wasn't news till last night, with all this OBS Streamlabs stuff that's been coming out.
Ooh.
Which it's been really weird. I mean, maybe not necessarily, but it just kept piling on. Like company after company came out and like, yep, Streamlabs stole something we did. And then they would tweet something out. And now like employers
was
are
a-
out there saying
A
some
perfect
shit.
example of the snowball rolling down a hill.
Yes.
It started with like one little quip, then a couple tagged on, then a couple big ones, then OBS jumped in, and that's when it started getting dangerous. I think for Streamlabs is when OBS jumped in
Right.
and just decided to put it all out there. And streamers are canceling their sponsorships now. Pokimane and Hassan have both announced that unless they do something, which I don't exactly know what they're expecting them to do,
Yeah.
but they were like, unless they do something, we're going to be moving on from them. Baru publicly cut his sponsorship with them. He was sponsored by them. He's gone. Good on him. Yeah, like I think it's been a long time coming, man. I mean, Streamlabs has been in the background kind of poaching stuff left and right for years. And it's just kind of been one of those things that everyone just kind of knows about and just kind of happens. And industry being industry, but I think it finally caught up with them. They just went a little too far with that webpage and it opened the floodgates and now they're flooded.
Yeah. Yeah. Here is the original, just to introduce the story. This is the original tweet from Lightstream, which is an old friend of mine, is a part of that company. And so I've kind of known about this stuff for a while. This is the Lightstream website on the left, and this is the Streamlabs Studio site on the right, which effectively does the same exact thing that Lightstream does.
And it's important to mention the system that you're looking at on the right was just publicly licensed by Twitch. So
Yes.
that's one of the big reasons this has become such an issue, is because like not only did they like steal the concept for the entire item, but then they basically copied the entire website and then turned around and sold it to Twitch. So that's what really brought the spotlight down.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, like you said, that tweet then got retweeted by OBS.
Actually,
I
you
think.
could bring that up real quick
Which
one more time.
this image?
There's one thing about this real quick that is so incredible. So websites copy other websites all the time, right?
Sure.
That happens. If you look at each of the different areas, they're even titled the same, right?
Yeah.
Scroll to the bottom. Scroll to the very bottom. If you look on the bottom of the left one, there are two real people that have quotes. Now, if you look on the copied one on the right,
Oh God.
the exact same quotes are there by made up people. So they didn't just copy the other website. They went as far as going, we're going to copy what was said, and then we're going to make up fake people to attribute these quotes to. Like,
That's
a lot of people were saying that, oh, it was just a placeholder site. There's nothing placeholder about fabricating people and then falsifying quotes. Like,
yeah.
that's not placeholder. That is clearly this company was just straight up stealing that. That required thought.
Yeah.
Like an intention.
100%.
So yeah, that's the part that really stuck out to me. Like that was the nail in the coffin. There's no way they're going to talk themselves out of this. There's no, I'm sorry we ripped off your website. They just stole it. They tried to just
100%. 100%. So
Now,
that got the ball rolling, and then OBS retweeted it. But Zeke, go ahead.
Well, I've used Streamlabs for years, and it's just because, like, it's arbitrary. It's just like Streamlabs just was like the most easy, like, user-friendly thing to use. I don't have like any loyalty or anything to them. They've never like, sponsored me or anything like that.
That's by design. They paid to have the SEO show up so that Streamlabs OBS pops up before OBS does when you Google it.
Yep.
So like, you fit into their algorithm in that sense.
A lot of people.
No, I mean, I use OBS Studio, but Streamlabs for alerts.
Right.
Yeah. So like it's no skin off my ass to like, swap over to something else, which like, I don't know if this is true or not. So like, this is all hearsay, whatever, but there's like some sort of program out there that makes it easy for you to like just swap one to the other. I've heard from my wife. She says it's like, yeah, there's a easy way to just plop one to the other, but I'm not sure if that's all true or not. Or I could talk to my friend Barry.
Yeah, just get a custom solution.
I used Barry for a long time, but I felt like I was put too much pressure on one dude. So.
Oh, think about how I feel.
He's got to eat.
Yeah.
He's got to eat. He also does an invoice, so it kind of you got to get on him for that invoicing. He'll figure it out.
Also, I got to see that face, that on the
that's correct.
seal of approval thing. Like,
I like that face better than the Streamlabs one, which was probably ripped off from somewhere as well. They probably have a photo of Barry.
Like Discord.
It's going like that.
Dude, Elgato
it says
was
Larry underneath it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's Larry instead of Barry Carlisle. It's Larry Carlisle. What did
Larry
Elgato say? 'Cause
Barlion.
I didn't see the Elgato stuff. I saw the OBS tweet, which I'll read it real quick. They said near the launch of. I love the fact that it's called SLOBS. That's the acronym for it. That's hilarious. Which is Streamlabs OBS. Streamlabs reached out to us about using the OBS name. We kindly asked them not to. They did so anyways and follow up by filing a trademark. We tried to sort this out in private, and they have been uncooperative at every turn. We're often faced with confused users and even companies who do not understand the difference between the two apps. Support volunteers are sometimes met with angry users demanding refunds. We've had interactions with several companies who do not realize our apps were separate. Legally, they have obeyed the terms of the GPL, but they have repeatedly disregarded the spirit of open source and of giving back. Despite these actions by Streamlabs, the OBS project will continue to provide free open software and tools for everybody. We will continue to support our users, the community, and our amazing developers for their hard work. So,
yeah, more power to OBS. Good time to shout out, by the way. If you are a streamer or somebody who uses OBS regularly, you can sign up to support them.
They have a Patreon.
That's one of the ways they get money.
Yeah.
So I strongly recommend, if you're a streamer that uses regular OBS, definitely look into that. That's what keeps them making more and more stuff. So
yeah,
it's super cool. GPL's open software source license. Basically, what Streamlabs did was OBS has done all the work. They came in and wanted to essentially make money off of it. OBS said, no, please don't. And so what Streamlabs did was then they took all of the OPS stuff and utilizing the GPL license of open source software, did as much branding as they possibly could to then market and sell it as theirs. So it's taking something that's in the spirit of let's make this available to everyone for free and putting a price tag on it.
Yeah. So what was the Elgato stuff?
So Elgato definitely chimed in on more than a few threads because they have had many things poached by Streamlabs too. Streamlabs even called their cell phone app the Stream Deck.
Really?
And Elgato put a thing up where it's that great actor that's on the gallows and he's like, oh, your first time. They did the whole side-by-side picture of that to the tweet of Lightstream posting that up. They also bounced around on some of the other threads. There's a really funny comic that makes little videos all the time. His name is Lance, I think. And he put up a video about it. And then Elgato comes up on their video and posts a picture of him looking into a mirror. And then a picture of that zoomed out with Streamlabs under the title. So they were just going crazy, man. They were all over, really, really playing into it. Little thing to mention, by the way, that's going to cause not some issues. Not only did Twitch recently partner with Streamlabs,
I saw that.
Logitech owns Streamlabs.
Oh, I didn't realize they had a parent company.
Yes. So Logitech, and not a lot of people are talking about that right now, but Logitech actually bought Streamlabs. So
okay.
That is an interesting little thing. And from what I understand, they're being pretty quiet about all this, understandably. I think they're kind of hoping it's going to blow over before they get pulled into it. But yeah, not great. To be fair, I'm sure this probably blindsided them as much as it did everyone else, at least to the degree that it's happening now. So I wouldn't say pitchfork and torch Logitech at this point, but it's going to be interesting. They have to respond to this somehow. I mean, it's owned by them now. So,
right.
We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah. I was looking up to see if it was public, what they paid for them. And in
89 million
September of 2019, it was 89 million in cash with an additional 29 million in Logitech stock, subject to the achievement of significant revenue growth targets for Streamlabs.
There you go.
So yeah, they wouldn't be surprised if the founders of Streamlabs say fuck it and just leave.
They've already gotten theirs.
Yeah, they've already cashed out.
Yeah.
So I would be surprised if they stick around after all of this stuff is said and done. Which maybe if they do leave, that means that Logitech can actually clean house and do something about it. But at the end of the day, if Streamlabs was literally just copying everyone else and they go and try to change that, then what do you have, right? You still have the copies of everything, right? Is your business, is your product. So not a good look for sure. We'll keep an eye on that and see what else they got going on. So that's the latest and greatest in the news world.
To clear up some confusion, no, Logitech does not own Elgato. Corsair
does.
One of Logitech's main competitors. Corsair, Razer, and Logitech are kind of like the big trifecta of peripheral people. And yeah, Corsair owns Elgato.
Yep. And I don't think anyone that owns Lightstream, and no one owns OBS. at all. They're
OBS is
crowdfunded.
open source.
Yeah, they're open source
OBS
and
is
crowdfunded.
they've turned down many offers over the years, I believe. They are staying open source.
Yeah, it's a little wild too because their Patreon. I went and looked. I think they have like 500 patrons and it's like 3,000 a month, which is incredible when you think about, the
amount of money being made on it.
Yeah, just the people that I know personally that use OBS and stream for a living. It's a staggering amount of money that they have generated just by existing. And if you go total up that list of all the streamers that leaked, that's probably 99% of people using OBS on that list. And yeah, kind of crazy. 3,000 a month is what OBS takes in from
not
Patreon
only is it probably one of the best open source softwares, they're constantly updating it. It's constantly being bug fixed. New features are being added regularly. Like, those guys are really a blessing to the live streaming community. Question.
Without a doubt. Yeah. Zeke, what were you gonna say?
Now this is gonna probably come off as a really, really dumb question. And I can't believe I'm asking this so many years into streaming and stuff, but
Let's hear it.
I know there, like, in the past, there were some programs that you would have to give a certain percentage of for using their services for alerts and stuff. Do I pay Streamlabs?
On donations, I think they take a cut, don't they? I think that was the biggest reason why when Streamlabs started, I didn't use them because they took a portion of all donations.
Okay.
But I don't know, like, that was years ago, and I don't know if that's changed. It's been forever, right, since I looked into that. So I'm not 100% certain. And I think it's a very small amount, like, if it is. Like,
you can also sub to them. I think they have a few different ways.
Like Streamlabs Pro or something.
Yeah, I think there's also like a subscription thing. I saw a very regular person in my channel. His name Barely Arcane, and he said still had 6 months left on his thing. So I think you can sign up for like an annual something with them. Yeah, I'm not sure. Streamlabs. Oh, here he is again. Streamlabs runs a subscription for expanded services. Streamlabs Prime. Really? Streamlabs Prime, huh? Okay. Even gonna take that.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just Googled here. It says, unlike other platforms that tack on a 5% fee on each donation, Streamlabs does not impose any additional charges. This was as of 2019, December 2019. So.
Okay. That's what I thought. That's why I never looked into it, because I was pretty sure they didn't take it unless you upgrade your service or whatever.
There is some stuff where, like, it's not necessarily like they have Twitch Alerts Pro, which I think is when you go to like sign up for Streamlabs, that pops up and you can just hit yes, I confirm, and then they start charging you. And I think that is what happens a lot of times when people just click through it and hit yes, and then all of a sudden they start getting charged. But
yeah, I haven't confirmed this, but somebody in my chat said, did you guys also mention the scummy Streamlabs sub stuff? People subbing for 1 month and getting billed a whole year, or being automatically put on their subscription when they introduced it. I haven't heard any of that. Doesn't sound out of line for what we're hearing right now, but I haven't heard any of that myself. I don't know about you two.
Yeah, I have not. There were, we talked about all the companies that were kind of talking about it last night and this morning. There's also a bunch of former Streamlabs employees that are now accusing the company of punishing staff for speaking up about their unethical business practices.
Even being fired.
Yeah. They got rid this person saying they got rid of me because they didn't like the way I didn't like the way my support manager was handling the night shift. My coworkers were running wild, not doing their work, leaving a load of it to just a couple of us. I got fired for wanting to become her equal and speaking up about it. So yeah, it just seems like a whole huge mess right now. And it doesn't seem to, as Cohh put it at the start of it, the ball is still rolling down the hill. It has not plateaued just yet.
Stuff is still coming out.
Yeah, stuff is still kind of coming
out. And I was in a meeting a little bit ago of some people that were watching it a bit more closely, and they said like last night for a period of time it was trending, and like the OBS tweet was on the front of everything. I went to bed and that OBS tweet was like thousands, and I think this morning it was 5 digits, if I'm not mistaken.
It was sitting at the top of LSF overnight, so it definitely picked up a lot of traction there.
So it's not great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, from one dumpster fire to another, you guys want to talk about Activision yesterday?
Oh, God.
Man, oh man.
Woo!
Well, I gotta tell you, it's so nice with all this stuff. Like some of this stuff coming out. Like I'm so glad I don't have a dog in any of these fights. Like I'm not sponsored by any of these. Like
Yeah.
lately, I'm not like affiliated or associated with them. I'm just like, oh, good. I can just wash my hands and walk away. Sweet.
Yeah.
I can just imagine. I can imagine Bobby in the back. I'm gonna call him Bobby.
Oh, Bobby.
I would have probably called him Mr. Kotick or whatever at some point. But I can just
Kotick.
imagine him in the back, and the room, all the lights are out except one thing over, like one lamp. Right? You don't even see his face, just his chest. He leans forward with his cigar, and he. Did you know I could have you killed? Just like some of this stuff that's coming out about this is unbelievable. It's just like
he
how
quite literally said that to someone's voicemail.
yeah, he actually
That's
told
not
somebody he
code
could
just
have them killed.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a literal voicemail that was left on an employee's thing. Yeah. I think was that
Like,
the
you're
flight
lucky
attendant?
to be alive because I will it.
Yeah, I think that was the flight attendant. There was a ton of stuff in this Wall Street Journal article that came out. It's almost too much to cover in one go. Some of the highlights, if you want to call it that. I think at this point there's been 500 different allegations against Activision Blizzard across everything. In summation of all that stuff. Not only all the stuff against Bobby Kotick, the CEO. Jen O'Neill, who was made co-leader of Blizzard and left after like 3 months with the company, that finally came out kind of why. Apparently a month into that job, she basically sent an email that said like, you're not even paying me the same amount as my co-leader.
Yep.
All of this stuff is kind of like bullshit. And she's scheduled to leave, I think, in January of next year. She announced that maybe a month ago at this point.
Oh, 3 weeks, not months. Oh God.
Yeah, it's just
Wow.
it's when you thought like all of that stuff was kind of over, in essence. The Wall Street Journal comes out with all of this stuff, which, from a timing perspective and like a stock market perspective, they had just launched Vanguard, 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, and I think the stock was starting to go back up a little bit after that. The second this article went out, I think that day they closed like 4 or 5% down. So it's starting to once again go back down. Vanguard being the newest Call of Duty, if that wasn't clear. But yeah, it's not looking good. There's a full article on the Wall Street Journal. I believe it's actually paywalled, but there's ways to get around that. And people have posted the entire article.
Or
Even
just,
the own author have posted
go
their
on
own article.
Twitter.
Yeah, one of the authors
Go on
of the
Twitter
article has posted
and look
it.
any direction, and
Right.
you will find information on this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad. It's not good. So that was that. In I guess cheerier news, more uplifting news. The Game Awards is continuing on. They put out their nominees. You guys want to run through them? They've got them all out here.
I would love that.
They've got some esports awards. Do we want to skip them? What's the deal on the esports stuff?
I'd say you're the most esport out of all of us.
What did you think the best esport event of the year was? Was it the 2021 League of Legends World Championship, the International 2021, the PGL Major Stockholm 2021, the PUBG Mobile Global Championship, Mobile Global, that's fun to say, Championship 2020, or the Valorant Champions Tour Stage 2 Masters?
As somebody who didn't watch any of them, the flashiest graphic is the one at the very end with the red and white lights. And I
Okay.
would say probably that one looks like it's pretty great.
Valorant Champions Tour Stage 2 Masters is the winner.
Worlds.
Zeke's going Worlds.
No
Okay. All right.
I
guess.
just watched Arcane.
Oh, yeah. So you're just in on League. Okay.
Yeah,
Got
I'm all in. I'm gonna start playing it. I'm gonna start
Oh,
doing
God.
lanes or lanes. Is lanes the thing you do? Lane.
You
If
get
laning-
You're
into the
thinking
lanes.
line.
Yeah.
Okay. And
You can
laning
also
isn't
do
the
lines
thing you
if you
do.
want while playing League. I don't recommend that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lining. I'm gonna line.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
I'm gonna do some lining.
Great. Here's best esports
I'm a
coach.
lineman for the county.
I don't know any. I'm too far removed from
These
esports
are all
to
so
even recognize
young.
this. Yeah, I don't know who any of these people are. I think I said that I wanted Blade to win because he has more numbers than letters in his name, and
Ooh.
he should win because of that. That's esports in my mind, is when you have a bunch of numbers instead of letters.
Is that the adjective now? Well, that's pretty esports.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very esports right there.
I gotta tell you, I like this. I like the strong quiet type. I'm gonna go with silent.
Silent. Okay, this one was
Kind of like Kokoma, because that's Kokona, kind of. That's,
a little bit.
Mhm.
it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, he honestly looks like a proper, like, not to discredit these other four. I'm sure they're fine coaches, but usually a coach comes with like some wisdom and some age to them. These guys look like they could, be my younger brother in high school. So I don't know if they have that. But maybe.
Dude, I mean,
maybe
what is?
Tacoma.
When do you get like aged out? Meaning like you're not
Mid-20s.
You can't do it fast enough,
Mid-20s,
right?
unless you're
So like
Hiko.
30 is a coach now. Like
Yeah.
30 years old is like coach age.
Unless you're Hiko, and then you can keep playing until the end of time. It turns out he's special like that.
Like Brady.
Every
He's like
sports
Brady.
thing's got one. They've always got one that just never ages out.
Yeah.
I guess that's Hiko.
That's true.
Good for him.
Here are the best esports teams. Atlanta FaZe. Let's just go with DWG. Kia. Navi.
There's my
Sentinels.
boys right there.
Team
Yep.
Spirit. What, Navi?
Oh, Sentinels, man.
Oh, Sentinels.
Definitely the coolest Halo skin. I am now a Sentinels fan.
Did you buy their
Sentinels.
skin because it's got your color
I
scheme?
absolutely did. I am now a Sentinels fan. They are my team. I actually ordered a leather jacket with their logo on the back,
Smart.
and apparently I'm a Sentinels fan now. Go
Smart.
Sentinels.
Smart.
Do they have like a hand thing I can do? Like S?
They might. If not, I mean, you
Should.
could probably invest and make them have one. Maybe.
Look at that guy. Look at the confidence. Do you see him? Like #1.
Yeah.
That's us.
Number one.
I like that. Confidence.
Best esports athlete.
By the way, what games do they play?
Valorant, I think, is Sentinels.
Great.
That's where I know
Excellent.
them from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go Valorant. I love cars.
Best esports athlete, I think Simp wins just by default. I think that's the go-to one there. Showmaker, he's a League of Legends player. Collapse, I have no idea what he plays. Simple, that's Counter-Strike. And Tins, no idea.
Oh, there's a simp
I've heard-
and a simple.
Yeah, Simp
Heard
and
of
Simple.
That's gonna
Yeah.
get confusing.
I'm gonna go with Simple.
Oh,
Collapse
by the way,
is
I'm
Dota.
going
Obviously-
team Spirit for the last one because Team Spirit. I like that.
Holding the most.
And I'm going with simple on this one.
Oh, Tins is from Sentinels, apparently. So maybe
Wait,
that's
really?
a code.
Go Tens.
Yeah.
My man, get him.
Go super about Tins. There you go. Best esports game. I'm fairly certain, I made this comment yesterday. I'm going to look it up. I think these 5 games were also the best esports games from last year. I don't think they changed the people in this category. Which maybe why would you? Maybe they continue being the best esports games. But now I gotta know.
Well, hold on. It just says Call of Duty. It doesn't have like a it doesn't have like a Sir title like Valorant or
Yeah, maybe.
anything like that.
Sure. I guess not.
Okay.
But I guess people can figure that out. I'm not sure.
My vote's Valorant.
I can't find the nominations from last year.
Go Valorant. I wonder who. Wait, if they are the same last year, which one won?
Biggest announcements and winners, Game Awards. Why is it so difficult to find this? I'm just finding like esports.com things. Chat, can you beat me to finding this? Is your Google foo better? It might be.
League One. 0. Somebody in my chat 0 says League One.
Okay.
Or are you just saying that, or did you confirm it?
Yeah, we don't want to get one guide.
I had to make a whole emote.
So last year, it was Fortnite, which is not on the list. League of Legends, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and Valorant. So Dota 2 bumped Fortnite out for best esports game.
Interesting. Look at that.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah. Some big changes.
Hmm.
Big changes. Yeah.
What won last year?
Uh, that's that. Someone said League of Legends in Cohh's chat. I did not verify that though.
League
Yeah.
One. Okay.
Yeah, everyone's saying that.
I'm going League then 2 times.
Okay. All right.
Oh, folks are saying because Dota 2 postponed TI last year.
So there was no. Okay, makes sense. So this one's probably the craziest category. I saw Cohh tweet about this as well, and I said the very same thing earlier that day. If all 5 of these games launch next year, that might be the most stacked. I think we say this a lot, but that truly might be the most stacked year of video games if these 5 games all release. That's an insane lineup to have in the same year.
Every one of those games has diehard fans and a core diehard community.
Yes.
And on top of that, when I put up the thread and we talked about it a little on stream, every single game had people that said it was a clear winner.
Yeah.
Which gives you an example like, okay, maybe those are really good selections. Like every single game had somebody going like, oh, obviously it's that. So yeah, that's when you know it's not bad. It's not bad.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, I saw a lot of people said that Starfield should win this because the rest are all sequels, or like what the game's gonna be in a lot of ways, and maybe that holds a little bit of water, but I don't know.
Starfield being a new IP.
Even if you have a sequel, it can still be a good or bad game. You can have good and bad sequels.
Sure.
You can have sequels that are better than the base game or the game that it's based on. So of course they're all games in their own right. They just have, pieces to build on.
I think the argument was in terms of anticipation, they know what the other 4 games are generally going to be like. They don't necessarily know what Starfield's going to be like. Though, maybe it could be argued that you kind of know what Starfield's going to be like because it's a Bethesda game. It's going to be a buggy fucking mess.
Bethesda's going to reinvent the wheel? Like, really?
I don't know.
They really take a lot of chances at different ways to get the money out of your wallet, but that's about it. I mean, it's like, yeah, I think we can all be relatively assured what it's going to be like. Yeah. And it's not a bad thing. Like, they've done it well. I mean, hell, Skyrim was what, 10, 20 years just recently with their big re-release, everything. So apparently it's selling super well. So yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be in their interest to change too much.
Yeah. Well, we got to nail down our picks here. So is anyone feeling strongly one way or the other within these 5 games? I'll get an answer out of you regardless, but if you're feeling strongly, speak now.
I think Elden Ring is going to win. Especially after the recent playtest. I think Elden Ring is going to win. I think a lot of people really liked it. I think it was a good taste of what's to come. I think that Elden Ring is going to win. I think that if it's not, that it would be a close second to God of War.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be one of those. I don't think it's going to be Starfield. I think. Go ahead.
Not since waffles versus pancakes have I agreed with Cohh, but I will agree with Cohh on Elden Ring.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Because I also think Elden Ring has recency bias going for it heavily right now because of that network test, right? It's been in the gaming news, the gaming conversation, whereas God of War was there like 2 months ago. Horizon Forbidden West has not been. No one knows a fucking thing about the sequel to Legend of Zelda. They've been completely quiet. And Starfield is.
It's bad when the title is the sequel to the Legend of Zelda. Like,
yeah, they don't even know the name of it. All right,
yeah,
they don't even know the name of it. But yeah, God of War did win, however, that IGN Best Game of All Time poll, so it does have a lot of rabid fans in terms of just pure numbers. But I'm with you guys, Elden Ring. Only, and if it's recency bias that's making me vote that way, then sure. But the game was fucking incredible, and I was sad when I finished everything in that demo.
I think Starfield also has a little bit, just exactly what you were just talking about. I think Starfield in a lot of ways is the same as Zelda, where people have like a general idea about what it's going to be, and they have some history to go off, but we still really haven't seen anything from Starfield. We haven't seen anything that makes us go, oh, this is going to be awesome.
Right.
Like, we've seen some concept art and some snips here and there, but none of it has really been like, this is going to define Bethesda for years kind of thing. We haven't seen anything like that.
That's a good point.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
I Well, I just looked up the wiki, and apparently Elden Ring, I forgot, won last year as well for most anticipated game.
Well, it got delayed this year, right? To
Yeah.
next year. So that's probably, I think it was supposed to come out towards the end of this year. Um,
All part of the plan.
yeah, they're just building up that hype. Just building up that hype. Not to jump back into the story with Streamlabs, but Edward Snowden has chimed in and retweeted
What?
the situation with Lightstream, saying, I'm beginning to sense a pattern in Streamlabs behavior. So that's where we're at now with that story.
Nice.
That's wild.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a fucking strange world, man. Real strange world.
Dude, in 20 minutes, you're going to be like, well, we just got another tweet this time from Beck
Yeah.
weighing on the Streamlabs situation.
Obama has thoughts on Lightstream, you guys. And I'm hearing
We've got
Trump is about
NASCAR
to
drivers
make
who are putting their
word.
opinions in the ring.
It's fucking wild.
Now, if you're, do you want Edward Snowden behind you? Do you want him to like?
I don't
champion
think, maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the people that are like pro Edward Snowden are probably a lot of people within our industry, right? Like they're already going to be.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not making my stance one way or the other. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah. No,
like
I see what you're saying.
objectively.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool and all. That's cool and everything. Hashtag cancel Zeke. It's a Zeke with an underscore, 3 eyes.
You can try, baby. But I'm like a tick, man. You gotta get some fire. You gotta burn me out.
Gotta
Like
get some
I'm
chickens.
buried. I'm dug in deep.
He needs a lot of chickens to get him
I'll
out
start
of
naming names if I get.
Uh-oh. Careful.
there. Best
Well,
indie
okay,
game.
I was gonna make a political joke, but let's stay away from that.
Yeah.
Let's move it on, JC.
See, this is what happens when you bring Edward Snowden into the mix. It
Yeah, I know.
It just gets crazy. It just gets crazy. Best debut indie game. Now the clarification for this is the best debut game created by a new independent studio. So that is why these
like
5
that.
are in here. The Artful Escape, The Forgotten City, Cana, Bridge of Spirits, Sable, and Valheim. I don't really have a horse in this race. I would think Zeke probably feels strongly about this. And I think Cohh would probably vote Valheim.
100%.
Yeah.
I have played at least a little bit of all of them except Sable. I don't think I've played Sable yet.
Hmm.
I'm going to put it on my list now. There we go. Get it on my wish list to give it a look. But having not played Sable yet, I would say even though the Artful Escape, Forgotten City, and Cana Bridge of Spirits, like all of them have very like good qualities and uniqueness and stuff like that. And Valheim falls very short of like certain like just quality things. It is addictive as fuck, man. I even fell into that pit. I gotta give it to Valheim. I gotta give it to Valheim. Crazy. I was like, okay, I'll try it for a day, and just hundreds of hours, I don't know however many hours later, I was still doing it.
Yeah.
Zeke, can you tell us a little bit about Artful Escape?
It's like the
Artful Escape is it's the I didn't play very much of it. I think I played like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of it. But it was the game I said it was really slow to start. A lot of exposition that I think they could have cut in half. And then it really starts like showing its quality, like what it's all about. It's got fantastic music, wonderful visuals, excellent voice acting. But my problem with it is I played it on Indie Day, and I only get to play. I usually only play it for a couple of hours because I got so many other games to check out. But I'm told that after it starts getting going, it doesn't stop. It's just a fun ride all the way through with sight and sound being at the forefront of what the game has to offer.
Yeah, I think Rami also liked Artful Escape. He was a big fan of it when we had him on the show. But I think Valheim, even though it's not released, even though it's still early access, will probably take this game.
Yeah.
This award.
I mean, I played all of the Forgotten City and all of Cana, and Forgotten City was really cool. Great concept. Implementation was pretty good. Cana was really, really pretty, and the animations were incredible. But I have to say that with Cana, I felt like it really wasn't pushing like any gameplay stuff forward. It felt like if it was not really super animated and had a really kind of interesting world and story, it would have been like super generic. I probably wouldn't have liked it nearly as much as I did. Didn't play Sable or Artful Escape, but Valheim is something special. Like that game, they nailed so many things. They borrowed from other games and then pushed the envelope forward, which I really like when games do that. Games are always going to take things from each other. That's the way gaming has always worked and always will work. So to see a game like Valheim come along where it borrows from so many different genres, but then really tastefully and artfully like makes those mechanics do more. Like Valheim is the kind of game that you're going to see other games come out of in the future and be better because of it, because of what it's done to like really push things forward. So it's kind of weird having Valheim on this list as it's not done. I don't really know if I agree with that. I kind of think that maybe they should have waited to put Valheim on the list when it enters 1.0. Because are they going to like not count it the year that it goes 1.0 and all the really big cool features drop? But that being said, like out of these selections, are the ones I played, Valheim is like far and away.
Yeah. Yeah. I would assume that.
I do think it was. I think it was I don't know. Maybe I'm out of my mind, but I think it was a misstep for Valheim for their latest update was the Hearth and Home update. And it's like I wanted there was that biome with the webs and stuff. Do that. I might go back for that. I want to see that. What's the creatures and the building stuff in there and the armor and do that one.
They got a lot.
I don't care about building. But then again, I bet.
By the way, a lot of people in chat saying like it is debut indie. Like it's not best indie title. It's best debut indie. Like best on the scene. But I mean, even then, like it depends on what's your definition of debut. A lot of people like see the final product as the big debut, even though it's been in early access for years. So I don't know. I definitely see why people, if it's going off debut being the first time it's ever been in public, then sure, okay, I can see that, and maybe it's
yeah. The next one, content creator of the year. We got Dream, Fuslie, Gales. God, I'm gonna butcher. Is it? It's not iBuy. That's too easy.
eBuy? I would think it would be eBuy.
eBuy. And anyone want to take a stab? I know.
I think it's just Grefg.
Grefg. Grefga. Great.
Grefga.
Great. The only one that I know of, because other people that I follow retweet her all the time, is Fuslie. I know Dream, but anytime I see Dream, it's because people are upset at him. So
controversy. I know that's the same thing I thought. I was like, how did this guy get in here? The only thing I've ever heard about Dream is people like in controversy and issues and him being blamed for something. Or wasn't that the guy that like admitted to cheating?
He was cheating.
Like,
yeah, he's cheating in the Minecraft stuff.
Like I was baffled when I saw that because it's like the only thing I've ever heard of this dude is negative, not good stuff. I guess he's just got an army of positive. What are they? Stands. That's right. Right?
Yes.
Stands?
Correct.
Yes. I think he's got an army of stands. So
I'm not sure like if you're allowed to say the word stand anymore. I'm going on the fence about that. I don't know.
No, I think
I've heard people getting offended by using the word stand, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd throw it in there.
Is it like
when I tweeted about you, Cohh, like I was like, hey, I'm gonna let you finish, but Cohh is the greatest, like whatever. There was people came out of the woodwork to be like, these streamers or content creators are from like a lot of them are from non-English first countries. That's why
three out of five of them.
People who watch us might not have heard of them.
Right. Which I think is awesome. I think that's a fantastic situation that speaks to how big our industry is getting in a good way. The fact that majority of my audience has no idea who any of these people are. Right? Like that's a good thing. That means that the industry is growing in a lot of ways, which works out. But yeah, I
already talked to the Game Awards, and next year they're going to have the Content Creator of the Year with the names Cohh or Carnage in their name.
Nice.
So I'm 40% certain I've got that one on lockdown.
Sick. Okay.
We'll be good next year.
Okay. What's the next category? Best multiplayer. We got Back 4 Blood, Knockout City, It Takes Two, Monster Hunter Rise, New World, and Valheim. The fact that New World is up here is real funny to me. But
They still don't have their shit together.
No, they don't.
It's not like they didn't have their shit together on release. They just shut down the economy.
oh yeah,
They like straight flicked the off switch
like
on
yesterday
the game's economy.
or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go It Takes Two here. But I don't know, like that's co-op. That's not multiplayer. Like those are different
Exactly.
things.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 2
yeah.
players is multiplayer. No,
I know.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
I mean, technically,
If they
not
had a
arguing
co-op
that it's
category,
not technically correct, but like multiplayer to me has always been separate from co-op. Co-op has always meant like 2 to me.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, it's got it in the like category.
you can argue that Back for Blood is co-op as well, right? Because it
True.
is.
True.
those, I mean, Valheim mostly. If you're on a non-PvP server, I mean,
Yeah, I would hope that It Takes Two wins here, being that I've played Back for Blood. It was fine. Like I had a good time with it. Monster Hunter Rise, I think, is a good Monster Hunter game, but it's not on the caliber of Monster Hunter World. And that's also coming out for PC next year in February or something like that. Early on, I think. And so that'll probably be the definitive edition of that. But my vote goes to It Takes Two. I don't know what you guys are going for.
I need the radio thing.
Oh,
This just in, Streamlabs has released an actual black box message. We are taking immediate action to remove OBS from our name. Streamlabs OBS is built on top of the OBS open source platform.
huh.
Streamlabs OBS is also open source and our code is publicly available. We take responsibility for our actions and will support the community.
All right.
This just in, that was too little too late.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things where they can't really say, there's nothing that they can say to like fix it unfortunately comes down to actions at that point and not necessarily like a Twitter message. So
Can we address that they addressed the largest first and not the people that started it, Lightstream? All
Right.
of this started because
Sure.
of Lightstream, and they just went with like, oh, well, that's the one that everyone's looking at, so we're gonna do that one.
that's true.
I wish, part of me wishes that like people would just be like honest, be like, we would like to backpedal now. We would like to formally announce that we are backpedaling. We are addressing the thing that makes us look worst first, and we will address the little stuff if it becomes bigger. Want that like right out the gate.
I'm at this point, I'm watching the Twitter thread just to see when the first person's gonna reply with like, that's what this company said 3 years ago when they got called out. You copied their
That's
message.
where my mind went. Yeah. At least they didn't use at least they didn't use a yellow background, right? Like that would have been funny as shit.
And you see like a blurred out CDPR thing in the top right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. that would have
Oh
been
god,
hilarious.
dude. Wow. What a
Yeah,
bunch.
we'll keep an eye on the developing story and see what else now they're gonna go over to Streamlabs XSplit. That's gonna be their name. That was a good comment.
It's gonna be called Sex Split.
Sex Split. There you go.
Oh,
That'll work
yeah.
out. That'll work out.
Oh man.
Best multiplayer.
I'm saying Back for Blood.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Just because It Takes Two is co-op in your mind?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
It's a weird category. I'll go It Takes Two. Cody, do you have a decision here? Is Valheim yours?
Honestly, I really enjoyed Back for Blood. I did play Valheim co-op. That was great too. I didn't play any Knockout City. But here's
I
the
didn't
thing.
either.
I had so many people. It is relatively stand out how many people told me It Takes Two is phenomenal. I didn't play it myself, but I mean the amount of folks and the amount of positivity I heard come from that title. I would almost say that out of all of these, the most I heard was about It Takes Two.
Yeah.
That would probably be my guess in terms.
All right. That's best multiplayer. What's next? Best sports racing. Forza for me is the standout here, but I know Cohh, you also played Riders Republic. Out of all these, I think that's the only one you played, so that's probably your vote, right?
No.
No? Okay.
I mean, but Riders Republic, the gameplay was cool, but literally anytime any character opened their mouth, I wanted to shut off my computer and burn it.
Mm.
Oh, that's right. That's the
That was
So-
a Zoomer game.
kids.
Yeah,
Oh
I mean,
my
it was.
God,
I
the
mean,
writing.
the gameplay was good, but it was. Oh my god, it was it was tough. On the bright side, Forza Horizon 5, that's the new one that just came out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Again, it takes two situation. I've heard so many people talk so highly about the new Forza game. I've heard people tell me that they have played that game for hours and not even done a race. They've just had fun like driving around and doing things in the world. That's really high praise for a racing game. When you can take a game that's, especially a franchise, that's all about one thing, and you can make another thing really enjoyable to do in it, that's kind of huge. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's a big evolution of that.
I'm in for Forza. Zeke, do you have
Yep,
You
a...
need to try that game.
Okay.
I've played none of them, but the buzz of Forza like is undeniable. Like this is the first like car game that I've heard this much like about like how wonderful and awesome and how much shit you can do.
Sure. Best sim strategy: Age of Empires 4, Evil Genius 2, World Domination, Humankind, Inscription, and Microsoft Flight Sim. Just so people are aware, Microsoft Flight Sim came out on PC in 2020, came out on console in 2021. So I guess that's how that got in here.
Really weird to see like Age of Empires 4 versus Microsoft Flight Sim
Versus
That just
Inscription.
Yeah,
Right?
like that's
Yeah.
all over the map, man.
This is a
I
weird.
feel like
This is the
I feel like
weirdest
this is a
category.
couple categories. Yeah.
It is the weirdest category for sure.
Inscription is like there's some strategy in it, but like that is nowhere near like what the game was about for my experience.
Yeah,
Also, not the part that shined.
it's a weird category. I
I'd
don't
say
necessarily
AOE
have a clear
4 is
choice.
kind of the AOE 4 or Microsoft Flight Sim. I mean, it depends on which way you want to take the category because they're so different. It's like apples and oranges. But I mean, if it's strategy games, I would say AO. I haven't even played AOE 4. It's one of those situations, just like Zeke was talking about last time too. So many people are talking about how good it is.
Yeah.
I still get asked every day to play AOE 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's big. It's big, and apparently it was a great release.
I'm fine with AOE 4. That makes sense.
I'm going Inscription because I want to win that car.
Best. I just like how it says best family. That just is funny to me. I didn't notice that before, but it just straight up says best family.
Well, It Takes Two can't be a part of it then because they're getting divorced, dude.
Yeah, they're getting divorced. It's not a family game. Yeah, It Takes Two. This is also usually the Nintendo category. Mario Party Superstars, New Pokemon Snap, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and WarioWare Get It Together. I'm not feeling strongly on any of these really. I guess It Takes Two.
I honestly
but
think the winner of this is going to be a write-in, and I think it's going to be Vin Diesel.
it should be.
Family.
Yeah, I mean, he really always is there for it. So, I agree. I don't think any of us have a strong pull here towards a decision. So, I think that's just a category skip. I think it's just a weird category skip. Now, what do we think's gonna win? Maybe WarioWare. I think critically, they will probably vote for WarioWare over most of these. But who knows? Who could say?
I'd say Party. I'll go Party.
Okay, Zeke said I'm Party.
Whatever.
Best fighting game. I swear to God, if Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl beats Guilty Gear Strive, I'm going to be pissed. Guilty Gear will probably be on some other list of mine. So I'm all in on Guilty Gear here. I played the shit out of that. But Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl has, SpongeBob. And people like the SpongeBobs. So it might get voted in there.
What?
As somebody who's
Mel-
not
is
even
that
really
third
into
one?
fighters. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, as somebody who's not even really into fighters, I spent like 30 hours in Guilty Gear. Loved every second of it.
Yeah.
It's stylized. It works well. Like it's an awesome game. I would hope Guilty Gear wins this category.
Same here. Yeah, Melty Blood's a
first-
game, by the way. It's actually like a
Yeah.
remake of an old fighter as well. It's not a brand new one. Or not necessarily a remake, but the IP has existed before is what I should say.
Give me that Totogeki and Mega Fisto.
That's correct. I hope Guilty Gear wins this. Guilty Gear should win this, but I wouldn't be surprised if like Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl takes it, or even the fucking Demon Slayer nonsense anime gets in there. We'll see. 17. This one is interesting to me because for best role playing, Cyberpunk 2077 is in the running. So is Monster Hunter Rise, Scarlet Nexus, Shin Megami Tensei 5, and Tales of Arise. I've played 3 out of 5 of these. I will be playing Shin Megami Tensei later today, so I will not have played Scarlet Nexus. Yeah, I'm not doing. I have not committed to a full playthrough. I'm doing a sponsored stream for it today.
Okay.
I'm wary of jumping into. I already did Tales of Arise, which is like a 60, 70 hour JRPG, and now it's like, oh my God, like, do I want?
Yeah,
I'll let
can
you know.
kick a little sponsor my ways? Because I want to try it without any commitment. Because my chat would be upset with me
if you played it and stopped.
Played it and stopped, because they still haven't forgiven me for stopping Persona 3, which I'm never going back to. It just
I didn't know you didn't finish that.
No, I didn't. It just got to the point where I didn't want to wake up and play it anymore.
Yeah, happens.
This category is a perfect example of why I find it very hard to ever take anything the Game Awards seriously.
Really?
Like
just because Cyberpunk's in it?
No, it's mostly because like no actual art, like Scarlet Nexus, like it's just these like no Pathfinder. Why Cyberpunk
okay. You just wanted Pathfinder in here.
Yes.
What about? Wait, did Celasta come out this year too?
Yep.
Celasta should be on there. I love
like,
Celasta.
Again, it's like they're none of these are like Scarlet Nexus is barely an RPG.
Cohh,
Monster Hunter, dude, no one plays Monster Hunter for the RPG stuff. It's all about killing monsters and stuff. Like role playing. Encased was a great RPG. There's RPGs and then there's like popularized like action games with RPG elements. And I feel like if you're gonna have an RPG category, you should have actual RPGs in it.
Well,
it's like this. It's like I don't know.
I will say, Cohh, that the Game Awards is a global event and not just Eastern European focus. So, they do play other games.
The best game designed with rich player customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences.
Oh, yeah. So I guess MMOs could also be. I think maybe Final Fantasy was put into Best RPG last year or something for Shadowbringers. Yeah.
Again, no Pathfinder, garbage category. That's what
it's like just Cyberpunk existing in this category is a weird one to me. And I'm someone that I didn't like. Cyberpunk, I finished it. I didn't think it was like I didn't have all the issues that everyone else had. It was actually fine. But I don't know if it's weird.
I do find it a little weird that as the best role-playing game, one of the games forces you to look like a methed out college clown dropout if you want to have the best stats. And apparently that's good role playing. That's like top role. Oh yeah, man, you got to rock that pink.
Have you been to college?
Bitch tank top. Like you can while you're role playing your street samurai. Don't forget the little green glasses with the little tiny palm trees on each side, because that's 29 AC that you need. That's some primo role playing right there, man. Just
it's true.
Nailed it.
I think it would be. I think the funny answer to this category is someone who's played the majority of the games in this category. I think Cyberpunk should take this. I think you should vote for Cyberpunk. They should go up there and accept the award, because that would be the internet would just melt down at that point. It would just.
Cyberpunk is the only one of these I played, and we know how I feel about it.
Yeah,
and I'm ashamed to say I loved it.
Yeah.
I still like it. It's just it's tough love. Tough love, man.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. And I played the 60, 70 hours Tales of Arise. I finished Monster Hunter Rise as well. I think that much as well. Put that much time into it as well. But I would love to see Jeff Keighley handing CD Projekt a game award and then wake up the next morning and read the internet Because
There's a good chance that's going to happen too.
I know.
Because I mean, the big thing about the Game Awards is it's probably I don't know what percentage I'd really establish it.
It's
But I'd say
10%
it's
of fan
probably
vote.
like 60+% of popularity content. So considering how popular and like how well known Cyberpunk is, there's a really good chance it'll win this category.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll see. What's number 16? Best Action Adventure. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. Now, this is a pretty good category. I think all these games are fine.
Yeah.
And worthy of this. I think for me, it comes down to Ratchet and Clank and Guardians of the Galaxy, and my Marvel bias will probably win out here because I don't know what else Guardians can take. However, I will also say the gameplay was the worst part of Guardians of the Galaxy. And the best part of Ratchet and Clank was the gameplay. So that's a hard decision for me. And also, I think Psychonauts 2 has a lot to say there as well. I didn't play Dread. I didn't play Village. So I don't think I could vote
Chat is like all in Metroid over here.
This
Yeah.
is
Like I'm surprised, honestly.
Yeah.
this is another one that I think Returnal could have been easily replacing any of these, like, arguably.
True.
But since it's not on there, it's still a great category, don't get me wrong. But since it's not on there, I would have to go with, man, it's got to be between Guardians and Dread for me too.
The gameplay
And
was 100% better in Dread, though, without question. There's no way that it I didn't even play Dread, and I'll admit to that.
Yeah. But oh man, I'm trying to weigh out like the different emotions that I had playing each of the games. Like Guardians of the Galaxy definitely had moments where I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And Dread was that way, like a smaller degree all the way through it. It was really really good. But I think I would have to go with Guardians.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cohh, you feeling strongly about any?
Yeah, I actually would agree with both of you. I am not even a Marvel fan, and Guardians of the Galaxy was an incredible experience. Like, and I didn't even play with the music on, and I've heard even with the music on, it's 10 times better. Zeke could probably talk about that.
I watched 80% of Zeke's playthrough because I wanted to see what that game was like with music, Cohh. It's better. It's hands down better.
I know. Yeah, it's incredible.
It's so much better.
I loved Psychonauts 2. I actually really liked Village 2. I just don't know. Psychonauts 2, I hate to say it, but like it's always going to be cult classic-y to me. Like it's so off the wall and zany and psychedelic. Like it's just not mainstream. It's just not. It's never going to be mainstream. It's great, but I just don't think it's, again, popularity contest coming into play. Dread, I think, is a very strong chance of winning. Not only because it seems like people absolutely love it, but it's just a solid game and a solid franchise, and that's going to be great. But honestly, I think people are overlooking Ratchet and Clank. I mean, if you remember how much hype that game had when it came out, and the technical achievements that it's done, the gameplay is really freaking fun. Like Ratchet and Clank was really really good. As my first Ratchet and Clank, I was like pretty blown away by that game. I would not be surprised to see it win the category.
Yeah,
it was the only one I didn't play on this list.
It's worth playing, even in your off stream. Zeke, put on.
The only thing is, though,
just run around.
As some folks that have been in chat were saying, I could definitely see Ratchet and Clank not winning solely based on the fact that it's PS5 only.
True.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, this one will be a tough category. I'm curious to see what takes that. Best action game: Back 4 Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, and Returnal. I guess Returnal for me.
There it is.
Yeah. This is where Deathloop starts being in literally every category. And I didn't play it, and that's probably why it's weird to me. But like, I remember that game came out. It was beloved critically, and then everyone I know played it, and it was just not that beloved anymore. So it's a weird one for me. I don't have any interest in finishing it, or even starting it rather. But I think Returnal is probably it's the one that jumps out at me in this list here. Cohh, are you in on Deathloop here? Is this where the Deathloop brain begins?
I want to see what other categories Deathloop is in. I actually did have a good time in Deathloop. I enjoyed it. I saw basically like a foundation of Dishonored in an interesting new universe with some really cool mechanics. I had a good time in Deathloop. I do think that unfortunately it suffered from that kind of reverse review itis that some games get, where they get like basically
Yeah,
the
like perfect
reviewers say that it's
scores.
the best game ever,
Yeah.
and it comes out and it's clearly not the best game ever. So everyone's like, "Oh, this is such bullshit." Like I think that it would have been a lot better received if it had come out where it deserves to be, like 8s and 9s. I think it's a fine 8 or 9. I definitely don't think it's perfect. I don't think it deserves a 10 anywhere, but it's a great game. I feel the same way about Deathloop as I do a game called Prey, where it's like it's not going to be mainstream amazing for a lot of people, but it's an incredibly awesome game, and like it deserves everyone. It deserves a playthrough if you're into that kind of stuff. No questions asked. I feel the same way about Deathloop. But that being said, in terms of like raw gameplay, especially like interesting, fun, cool gameplay, I loved Returnal. That game did it really well. I loved the roguelite aspects of it. The weapon stuff was super cool. I do wish they had dramatically sped up the weapon stuff because you don't get to see like 90% of it in a normal playthrough, and that sucks.
Yeah.
Because it was a really creative system. But yeah, Returnal was fantastic. It was really
I think Returnal then from all three of us.
yeah, and some good points in chat. Where's Lost Judgment on that list, man? Like where's Ryuga Gotoku? Like they absolutely deserve a spot on there. Don't get me wrong, I love Chivalry too, but having that be there instead of Lost Judgment's a little weird.
Yeah. Best VR AR. This is a weird category because I don't think I've played any of these. Hitman 3, I Expect You to Die 2, Lone Echo 2, Resident Evil 4, and Sniper Elite VR. Anyone bust out VR for any of this?
The only thing I know for sure is I watched a streamer stream Resident Evil 4 on the Oculus, and it looked terrible.
Yeah.
Like I haven't played any of these other ones, but man, even he was having a pretty rough time getting through that sponsor free. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Tough.
None of this, none of these strike me as or jump out at me. So I don't really have a decision here. I think that might be echoed by the two of you as well.
Yep, I had no idea.
Okay.
And I Expect You to Die too, though. That looks like something I could jump into.
Yeah. Sure.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes. Like maybe.
Right.
Just real quick before we go on from that last category, I'm so disappointed we don't have an Alex this year.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed that there's this is a category where it's just like most of these are just kind of like side projects. They aren't even real things. Like it's I was really hoping that we would have like some heavy hitters after Alex. Hopefully they're still in production. We'll see them like maybe in a year or two. But having this be like our selection for best VR games is it's really unfortunate.
Yeah. I was cleaning out my basement and both my PSVR and Index and Oculus, or not Oculus, the Vive Pro or whatever, all three of the VR headsets were just collecting dust on that shelf. I was like, man, what the fuck happened? It's too expensive
Valve
for
is
VRs.
apparently working on a follow-up, so I'm hoping
Okay.
if they can be the backbone of this whole thing, like make it work, man. Let's do it, Gabe.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Give me some more of that. Innovation in accessibility, presented by Chevrolet. You got to hit the tagline there. We got Far Cry 6, Forza Horizon 5, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and The Veil Shadow of the Crown. Don't necessarily know if we are equipped to answer which one is the best for innovation and accessibility. I do know that Microsoft always seems to knock it out of the park, as well as PlayStation with Ratchet and Clank. They had a very good bunch of Twitter buzz, or a lot of Twitter buzz around the accessibility of that game. So I don't know about Far Cry. Is there any innovation in Far Cry?
I mean, there's no question these days that companies are making a much better effort. You compare games in this day and age to like 20 years ago, and it is a night and day difference in terms of like color blindness and accessibility, reading out menus. Like now it's not even uncommon when you start up a game for it to go just start reading out menus. And then
That's
you
what
turn that off.
Forza did. It scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's good. It's good to see all that step forward. That being said, I think to really vote in this category, we would have to buckle down and like make a list of each of them and compare them. and I
Right.
know that I don't generally do that, so
Yeah.
it would just be guessing.
Yeah, same here. I agree. I think that also helped with
Uh,
the Marvels, where it started. Marvels, Guardians of the Galaxy. It was reading stuff to me when I started it.
yeah, I was just gonna say like the one that I played. Like I know that Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy had tons of options, accessibility wise, and all that shit, like subtitles and you know, uh, yeah, just lots of different things you could check or uncheck.
Yeah. 12 more to go. Best community support: Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14 Online, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. Now, what is the recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates / patches. I mean, I don't. If you look at what Final Fantasy has done over the past year, it seems to be the clear winner. I mean, it's absurd what they've done in terms of their live letters, in terms of the like response for the servers lagging because it was too popular. The like game director put out an entire thread basically saying like, we are so sorry that you cannot play the game. It's too popular because streamers are playing it. We're going to buy new servers.
Dude, and then
like
Yoshi going
week.
out into the community and giving his time to interview basically anyone that want, like, that was
Yeah,
completely seconded. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to win.
I don't either.
I agree with you though.
I don't know what would though. Like Destiny,
I think No Man's Sky.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude, No Man's Sky everyone loves. I mean, they're the company everyone loves to love. They're still releasing major updates. They're still working on it. Sean is constantly in the community. I think that No Man's Sky will probably do it just because it's such a great success story. And I mean, hell, I think weren't they on this last year?
Yeah,
They're
Yep. pretty much on it every year. I feel.
Yeah. So
Fall Guys won last year.
Unless they're looking to spread the love, then I would not. As long as No Man's Sky keeps up what they're doing, I wouldn't see it changing.
Yeah,
it's fun.
If it's not them, I hope it's 14.
The best community support last year had Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. The only changes were Fall Guys and Valorant.
I think it's funny that Destiny 2 is here. As someone that actually spent a lot of time this year playing Destiny 2 off stream, that they don't support the community. Just is always upset. There's like no support there. They're just constantly screaming.
A roller coaster, man. It's a
It
roller
is.
coaster. Like it alternates between the community loves them for listening to what the absolute hell are they thinking.
Yeah.
And
It's
it really
wild.
does. Like, I mean, Rami is a great example. Like, if you follow Rami and how he talks about it, like it really alternates between like, this is awesome. Thank you so much for changing this. This is great. To wait, are you seriously doing that? Like, how dare you?
Yeah.
So it's a wild ride with D2, man. It's a wild ride.
Yeah. Yeah. My vote goes for 14. But I wouldn't be surprised if another, in terms of popularity, vote, I wouldn't be surprised if another game takes it. So Zeke, do you have any clear choices?
I would go with Final Fantasy. Like I've never ever heard anything but good shit from about the Final Fantasy community, about their support, about everything. Like,
yeah,
if they don't win, they certainly deserve it.
There you go. Best mobile game presented by Verizon. We got Fantasian, Genshin Impact, League of Legends Wild Rift, Marvel Future Revolution, and Pokemon Unite.
Wait, what's that first one?
Fantasian. That's actually a single-player RPG that was on Apple Games from the creator, from Sakaguchi, I think, is one of the creators of Final Fantasy. I think that's who made that. It's supposed to be very good, and not like, I don't think it has very much mobile gameness to it. I guess, to put that as kindly as possible. Genshin will probably take this, though, I would reckon.
Yep.
Yeah, it seems to be the biggest and most widely accepted.
Still wildly popular.
Yep. And that's coming from someone that put like 60 to 70 hours in Marvel Future Revolution as well. I think Genshin will take that without question. Best indie. Here you go, Zeke. This one's actually a pretty cool list. 12 Minutes, Death's Door, Inscription, Kena, Bridge of Spirits, and Loop Hero.
I played all of them.
Do you feel strongly about any of them?
Fuck, man. That's a fucking tough one, dude. Because two of those I actually like, the rare moments that I actually, 100% or, get all the achievements on a game. I did that with Loop Hero and Death's Door.
Yeah.
So, shit. It's a tough one. But
is there any that aren't sticking out as clear winners? I think like Canna probably won't win, right?
it didn't grab me. Like I played it for a little bit, but it's not like, I don't know. It's I don't know. I guess I don't go for like the Zelda-ish kind of adventure games anymore for some reason. Maybe they just don't appeal to me. Fuck, it's a tough choice, but my heart says Loop Hero, honestly. It was such a weird idea, and such like the choice to go like bit graphics and simplified like gameplay and all that stuff. But man, is it fucking addictive. Like, if you like it, you'll play it for a while.
Yeah.
I would go Loop Hero, man. That's my choice. What do I think will win? Maybe 12 minutes. Because that had some star power and some buzz.
Yeah.
More buzz than any of these, I would say.
I think thinking about it and having what you said reverberate, I think Loop Hero probably takes it for me as well.
Thirded.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think 12 minutes is super innovative. Pretty cool idea.
I think it was right there. It barely missed the mark for me. If I could have had some sort of skip in 12 minutes to like get through the stuff that I had already seen 1,000 times to get to that one little pixel hunt type deal.
Also, a few things were just like too ridiculously not finished. Like the fact that like when the guy busts in and he's ordering the girl to the ground, you can just go and start eating and killing. There's just some stuff that was just sort of weird.
It was still funny.
Inscription was a wild ride. I could see Inscription winning this because not only is it like fun and with the cards and everything, but it's super innovative in the terms of being able to like get up from the desk and the meta game and the progression of the main story without spoiling it too much is super interesting. But man, Loop Hero was just a joy from beginning to end. Like that game is so cool, and it's like it's its own genre. It really is. Like the new Loop genre is based on Loop Hero, and it's really hard these days to be not only a wild success but also do something completely new from bottom to top, and that's Loop Hero.
Yeah, I do think Death's Door was a
babe, sir, babe.
Yeah. It's a good one. It still makes me laugh thinking about him saying, honey, what are you talking about? That's fucking Willem Dafoe. Yeah. I think Death's Door was a pretty like critic darling, I guess, maybe. They really enjoyed that game. So that might sneak out and take a win here. But I'm with you guys, Loop Hero, for sure. Yeah. Number 9, best ongoing game. Apex Legends, Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, Genshin Impact, and Call of Duty Warzone. I would think it's probably going to be between Genshin Impact and Call of Duty. Obviously, I'm going to go with Final Fantasy XIV as my pick, but I think those two are probably going to be the ones that one of them will take it.
I would say Genshin and 14.
Yeah.
Walker hype is real, and I think that absolutely could outwin it. Genshin Impact is just a giant titan, though. So I think just in terms of raw popularity, Genshin Impact could win. But if Genshin doesn't win, I think it's going to be 14. To be honest, like Call of Duty Warzone, especially right now, it's just not very hyped. And especially since everything has kind of moved on to, what's the new one? Vanquish or whatever?
Vanguard.
Vanguard. Like it's not really as topical anymore. So I would say it's going to be 14 or Genshin.
Yeah.
Zeke? Hopefully 14. But
yeah, 14? I'm with you, Tim. Okay.
14, it had this year in particular, it had so much buzz. Like that.
It's been a wild year.
Deservedly so. I know it's hard to beat, like the Genshin Impact is a fucking juggernaut, but if it's gonna be a year, it's gonna be this year for Final Fantasy.
You're not wrong about that. Yeah, like it has definitely had a banner year for that game, and seems to all if they nail the landing, if they stick the landing with Endwalker, it'll end on a incredibly high note for that game. So, what's next? Games for Impact. Zeke, this might be your category. I don't necessarily know very much about
Genshin Impact.
Wait, yeah, I know, right?
Genshin Impact wins Games for Impact. There you go. Before Your Eyes, Boyfriend Dungeon, Chicory, A Colorful Tale, Life is Strange, True Colors, and No Longer Home. I have
For a
played Life is Strange.
thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message?
Yeah, this is always kind of the case for this. I think
Huh.
last year Spirit Walker or Spirit Fair won. Did it not?
Games for Impact. Tell me why. Won
Oh,
last year.
okay. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
have
it
a-
was
I don't
Tell
have
Me
a dog in
Why,
the
If
face.
Found, Kentucky Route Zero, Spirit Fair, and Through the Darkest of Times were the games
Okay.
that were up last year.
I don't have a choice. Nothing stands out here.
The only one I played was Boyfriend Dungeon, and it was kind of like meh.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't have like I must not have gotten to the impact part of the game,
Right.
but the game itself was kind of like, it's all right.
Yeah. I played Life is Strange until what I think was like the plot twist that those games have, and it was definitely a what the fuck, but it wasn't like impactful. So that was only the first of like 4 acts though, so probably go somewhere. I don't think any of us have a strong choice there. Best performance. Erica Mori is Alex Chen in Life is Strange. Giancarlo Esposito is Anton Castillo in Far Cry 6. Jason Kelly is Colt Vaughn in Deathloop. Maggie Robinson as Lady Dimitrescu in Resident Evil Village. And, oh God. Ozioma. You got the last
Anga.
name? What?
Okay.
Okay. As Juliana
I mean,
Blake.
that's my best. I'm sorry. I'd like to apologize to her in advance. I didn't mean any offense by what I just said. I'm sorry. I have no idea how to. I think it's
Mispronouncing
Anga.
names is not offensive. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I thought you were saying it correct. It sounded correct to me.
I will say that is an awesome name.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've definitely never seen it.
No.
I gotta say, as somebody who played Deathloop, Ozium or Jason, they had phenomenal chemistry. That was one of the highlights of the game for me. Was their back and forth. They had so much unique dialogue, and it really worked well going into the different areas. One of the highlights was hearing what they were going to say. I would love to see one of them take it.
I've only heard Maggie Robertson. The rest of them I've not heard any of it.
Resident Evil.
To be fair,
I don't
Esposito
have
was
a dog
awesome.
in this fight, but I think the safe bet, Gus from Breaking Bad.
You don't want to bet against him. I mean,
You don't bet against Gus.
You don't bet against him. It goes poorly.
To also, Esposito was also really, really good in Far Cry 6, but he's always really, really good. Like you know, he's like an actual really great actor. I will say, and I did not finish Far Cry 6. I finished like 1.5 of the 3 areas, so I didn't get to see like I'm guessing he had like a big finale and stuff. But I will say in the God, if 12 to 15 hours I played, I actually put a lot of time into it. I definitely felt like he was underutilized. I wish that I would have seen a lot more of him.
Probably expensive as fuck.
I bet he was. Especially to get him all dressed up in the tracking stuff and everything too.
Yeah,
But,
he's a big name.
Yeah, everything he was in was great, but I didn't see him nearly as much as I wanted to.
Yeah. I don't have a decision here. I the only one I played was Life is Strange, and it was very short. So, category number 6, best audio design. The sub headline is recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Deathloop, Forza Horizon 5, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Resident Evil Village, and Returnal.
Returnal, no question for me. First time it rained, I was like, that's fucking awesome.
You talking about the sound or the controller feedback?
Both
Yeah.
were great.
Okay. I agree with I would actually agree. Also, I love the sounds of Returnal for the weapons and stuff. That was super cool.
That's
Ratchet
true.
and Clank was also really good too, though. Ratchet and Clank had some fantastic sound stuff as well. Even Deathloop had some good sound stuff. It's gonna hold on, let me read the category. Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design.
Yep.
That's gonna be a tough one, dude.
Not only that, but like the guns, how the guns sounded in Returnal, I love that. Like all the different like sound effects and holy shit, that was wonderful. But then again, I've only played Returnal and Resident Evil Village.
Yeah.
So my choice is Kane.
All right. Well, it's 2 for Returnal, so I'll go in on Returnal. That was the only one that that and Ratchet, and I guess Forza, but Forza sounds like cars, so it's It's got
Yeah,
those cars.
no
instead.
innovation there, right?
Yeah, yeah. It sounds good, but it sounds like cars. Best score in music. For outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. Artful Escape, Cyberpunk 2077, Deathloop, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Near Replicant version 1.22474487139. I didn't even play.
Cyberpunk.
You think Cyberpunk?
100%.
You didn't play Guardians, though, with music on.
That's all music they didn't make for the game.
It says original song and or licensed soundtrack.
Nope, that doesn't say that. That's cheating, man. That just means you got a lot of money. That's dumb. You're buying a category. Oh, wait a second.
Cyberpunk literally had Keanu Reeves.
No, honestly, I will say, I think I would say Cyberpunk probably wins. Not only, I still listen to Cyberpunk music to this day. It has an incredibly cool soundtrack. They made an entire fictional band and it's good. Like I seriously think that I mean it's got music from all over the genres. It's got cultural music, it's got rock music, it's got EDM, it's all custom made for the game. Like if there's one thing that Cyberpunk could win, I think it's this category, and honestly, I think it deserves it. I'm saying it, and I'm sticking to it.
I played
a great soundtrack.
If you play Cyberpunk with the like streamer mode on, do you hear only the band that they like made for the game? Is that all you hear?
No, they made tons of music.
Did they? Okay.
One of my favorite songs in Cyberpunk, The Rebel Path, like all custom. They made tons and tons of custom music for it.
Got it. The only song I remember from Cyberpunk is the girl screaming, I love you, I hate you, I killed," or whatever. That's the only song I remember driving
That was the
around
takeaway,
to.
huh?
Yeah, and I fucking hated that song. I really fucking hated that song. I did not like it. It was didn't stick with me.
What about Punk?
I'm going corporate on this one.
I don't remember it.
I'm going Guardians on this one because there's nothing like getting into an epic battle and then like, here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. It's like, don't worry. Like that shit. That was fucking awesome.
Oh, to be fair, Guardians also did make an entire fictional band and record it, and it also was really good. In fact, it baffles me that they didn't use their own custom band for their big moment whenever they like. That was crazy to me. They have dead silence. Like, whose idea was that? They need to put a patch out where they fix that.
At the end of the game. Yeah, Zeke didn't experience that. When they play, you're talking about the walk sequence, right?
Not only the walk sequence, anytime you'd hit the freaking radio thing, like you'd have the huddles,
huddle up,
like right after, then it'd be dead
silent.
silence. They have an entire band list they could have picked from of awesome songs to put there, and they just don't. I put in my own music, and it was okay, but it's like
it is weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
They put some Star-Lord, like the name of the band,
right,
like in there.
Yeah. Would have made sense.
Don't. That's crazy.
Would have made sense.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. For the record, and I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this because I never talked about this on the show, and this drives me crazy.
Okay.
Somebody just said 99% of people didn't have that problem, only streamers. See, here's the thing about streamer mode, because here's the problem. Lots and lots of people, dare I say, hundreds of thousands to millions of people will never play the game and only experience it with streamer mode through their favorite streamers.
It's true.
So this idea that streamer mode in games only affects the streamer, no, it affects every single freaking person that's going to watch their playthroughs. Every one of them. So when people are like, oh, well, games shouldn't worry about their streamer modes or not, they shouldn't put any thought into that. So many people are never going to be able to watch or play those games. They're only going to have time to watch them on a side screen at work. And it's like, for those people, you're screwing with that streamer mode option. So yeah, that's just kill that argument forever. It makes no sense. I wish everyone could play the games, but they can't. A lot of people have lives and they just don't have time for this.
I agree. Yeah, I don't know where I fit on this one. I'm trying to what was the Nier song? Was it as impactful as the other Nier music?
I think you just answered your own question.
I guess not. Yeah, maybe that's good. That's great. Yeah, makes sense. Chat says it was. I definitely didn't seek it out, but I didn't play the game. So
no, I saw a lot of people when this category came up. Like it was like a vast majority of people.
Oh
saying
wait,
Nier.
is
would win this.
Is Kane's theme from that Nier in that game? If it is, then that should win. That's one of the one of my favorite. Yeah, okay, it is. Yeah, I'm going all in on Nier then. Nier is my choice here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kane's theme is
I
one
don't
of my
even know
favorite songs in video games. I went and saw an orchestra perform it. So
I Googled Kane's theme and it's the freaking WWE wrestler.
that's what I mean. That's who I'm talking about. Yeah.
That's it. Oh, that's who you meant. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's fantastic. I saw an orchestra
That's
perform
not
that.
how
He
you
walked
spell it.
out on stage, and then it was incredible. It's incredible. Also, I'm going to continue. It's always Kane. Kane, always and forever, chat. Not whatever dumb fucking way you're pronouncing it. You fucking weebs. Stop typing.
Actually,
Some fucking weed. Wow, dude. Wow.
I know.
All right.
I know. Best art direction: Artful Escape, Deathloop, Kena, Bridge of Spirits, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. This one, I think, for me, Psychonauts 2, even though I
Would
didn't
love to
finish
see
it, might
them win.
take it.
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I'd love to see them win. I don't think they're going to. I think Keena's going to win, but I think that Psychonauts 2 winning would be amazing.
It was a trip, and just the 2 hours that I played at the start, and I heard it only gets crazier throughout that game.
Oh, it's wild.
Yeah. So
Jack
Yeah.
Black's area is just it's a giant trip from beginning to end.
I go Psychonauts for sure.
Psychonauts. All right. Roundhouse. Best narrative: Deathloop, It Takes Two, Life is Strange: True Colors, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxies, and Psychonauts 2. I guess
think
I'm in
Deathloop
for
wins
Guardians.
I think It Takes Two might, but I really like Deathloop's narrative. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I just did play it, so I don't know. I can only speak to Guardians and like
This was another one.
of It Takes Two.
This was another one that I think Returnal got snubbed on. That the way they relayed the story was so strange and innovative. Like I liked it. Like I liked the way they kind of like it was a little like out of place at times. Like you're like, what the fuck is even going on?
I agree.
I like that.
I
It intrigued me.
I agree with that, but they didn't finish it.
Yeah.
It was definitely one of those games like you choose what you think happens. And
I hate that shit.
yeah.
Okay,
hate it.
I love
You're
that
either
shit.
for or against that, and I'm definitely
Yeah.
against it.
I like
I don't
open-ended
like it.
shit. Doesn't bother me. I'm a very, very big proponent of like the mystery remains, not the solution.
Sure. Yeah.
For me it's like a song that doesn't have a climax. When it's like asking the question but never answering it, and for me a big part of those types of narratives is getting to the answer. That's like the big aha. It's like discovering the killer in a detective novel, you know? And so for me it's like if that same detective novel they just get to the end and they were like, who do you think did it? You know, it's like, man, no, just take a direction and tell your story. Like I really didn't like that about Returnal. I kind of hope that there's going to be follow-up content that solidifies either it's all a dream in her head back on the planet, or if all that shit really happened.
Apparently, the people who made this list agree with you, so it's because it's not on there. We're arguing about a game that's not even on there.
That's true. We are. Yeah.
But there was another game that what was the other game that should have been on here? Anyway,
Lost Judgment.
oh, Lost Judgment, right? Because that's actually like, yeah. No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. Because
Too
that
niche.
game has like a running through line of a story, right? But
Yeah.
I can't
Pathfinder, but,
comment
you know,
on
I
this. I
guess-
played. Well, actually, I played 3 of the games. I honestly, I probably go with Guardian on this one. I liked it because it had nothing to do with the MCU, but and that didn't hurt it. It helped it, in fact.
I personally would have liked to see Pathfinder on here, but I mean, you know, 200 hours of quality narrative content, that's apparently not deserving of a mention.
No one's got time for that.
That's like putting a novel up against an encyclopedia. Like, like which one had a better story? The one you could actually fucking get through?
That might be my favorite.
You're not wrong.
Favorite banter that Zeke's ever said. That's good.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, even in my video saying that it was like one of the best games I've ever played, I'm like, it was actually a little long. So yeah, it's kind of hard for me to say anything to that.
Oh man,
Really.
That's
Well,
funny.
now here this is what I'll tell you. on my Steam, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Now, granted, sometimes I leave the PC on and stuff, but I can't leave it on that much. It says I have 155 hours in Pathfinder. And I had to put it down. I just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah. Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
crazy to
I
me,
had
man.
trouble finishing it on stream. Like it's just it got. Don't get me wrong. Like it's a fantastic
crazy.
thing. But it's like the old ice cream idiom. Like you can always have too much of a good thing. Like and it's just one of those. Like Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Let's be blunt. Could have been 2 games. It could have easily been 2 games.
Easily, yeah.
You know. So it's the kind of thing where it's just like sometimes you just want an ending. You want to work towards something, and you want that feeling of I did it, and you got to work real hard for that in Pathfinder. You got to really work for it.
Well, and also
it's great. I loved every minute of it, but it's a big game, dude.
I did it on the step below the hardest, whatever the hardest is ridiculous, and they say it as much. They say it's unfair, right? But I did the step below, and that tacks on a lot of replay,
A lot of hours.
like meaning like you fucking fight a fight, you die, you got to do it again, and it's like there's a lot of hours spent on just refighting shit.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So that was Disco Elysium was last year. Yes. No, it was 2 years. 2 years ago. Last year. Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah. It's last year.
Yeah. The definitive or the voiced edition came out.
Yeah. I don't feel too strongly in here. I think like Guardians of the Galaxy had a good story, but that game shines in terms of the banter, and the story kind of takes a back seat to that. So I don't feel strongly like I'm not going to be upset if Guardians doesn't win here. Because
they need the
banter.
best dance category is what they need.
Yes.
Best dance.
100%. Yeah. Now, if it was best writing, I could see that, yeah, Guardians would maybe take that.
Mm-hmm.
But narrative's a different thing. So I don't feel strongly about anything here. Category number 2, best game direction. Deathloop, It Takes Two, Returnal, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. And this subtitle is awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design.
No question.
Interesting.
Right?
Really?
Returnal,
No question?
Yeah.
You think it's Returnal for you?
They use the word innovation. Like none of these other games are very innovative. Maybe Deathloop. Maybe Deathloop has some innovation. But like,
I mean, it's
It Takes Two was kind of innovative.
Was it?
I mean, it takes the co-op and makes it so every 30 seconds it's a brand new game.
See, the thing is though, is it's not really referring. Is it talking about like the overall story and the way that works, or is it talking about the mechanics in the game? There's a lot of
I think both,
because creative vision. If it's the whole package, then like Psychonauts 2 and Ratchet & Clank are both really cool, interesting, unique games. But I wouldn't say that they're outside of the art and everything in Psychonauts 2. They're not like wildly creative. Returnal is a third-person shooter roguelite. It's very cool, but again, like it's not like hugely innovative. I don't know, man. This is kind of a tough one with the option.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel strongly again for any of these.
Deathloop and Returnal are kind of similar.
And yeah, in terms of the storytelling, or just in general.
Well, in terms of the way that the game works with kind of the repeating loop element,
the loop stuff, yeah.
Although I will say, you know what? No, I'm going to say Deathloop. And the reason being is because Returnal's cool and I like the roguelike elements, but Deathloop did this really cool thing where every time you loop, you start in the morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And what you would do, not only would you decide where to go, but you would decide what to do in those areas that would then have an effect on a later time. So like a good example is like you start in the city in the morning and you can turn off all these generators. And that way in the afternoon in another area, something doesn't catch on fire. So you can go in there and get some hints that will let you get into an area in a different time in the third one. So in terms of like creativity and how many times they do that and the way they do that, I'd actually probably say Deathloop. Just some really, really cool things with that.
Pretty good argument
that I haven't seen from games before.
Yeah.
And people are saying that something that I absolutely agree with. I think Loop Hero is missing.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Agreed. Especially in place of Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank was like, it did some cool stuff with the warping worlds. That was kind of fun. But a lot of times that felt kind of like a tech demo in a lot of ways, like just like kind of a look what we can do kind of thing, and didn't really play into the game too much. But it did create some incredible scenes. But Loop Hero from the ground up was totally new and interesting and innovative.
So many people are saying It Takes Two, and I played through it. And I mean, I'm not
Another
sure
Loop
what the innovation is that people are talking
I
about.
I think that every 5 minutes, 10 minutes in that game, it's a different co-op game. Like co-op game,
But like
that's innovative.
WarioWare, like that's it seems like
Mario
that kind of
Party is the
thing.
same
Like
way.
they're all like every 5 minutes you're playing a different mini game, right? Like that's why like it was a great game. Don't get me wrong, I loved it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the shit out of it. I'm not shitting on it. I'm just saying like
Yeah,
innovation and game direction. Like
I see what you're saying.
yeah. I don't know. Cohh's in for Deathloop. Zeke, you're in for Eternal from the thing that's here, the 5 that are here.
yeah, I'm saying that. Yep.
I'll go in on It Takes Two. We'll all be separate.
Maybe I said the wrong game, but you know, like the Mario Party kind of thing. Like where
No, I get what you guys are
I
saying.
might have said WarioWare and I fucked up. I apologize.
I mean, WarioWare, I think, still fits the same thing of what you're trying to say. The final one, the big one, it's Game of the Year. We got Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village.
Loop Hero.
I don't
say Loop Hero.
I still have the same feeling when I saw this yesterday. I don't think maybe like one of these or two of these games will actually make my top 10 list. Maybe. Probably.
This is a really tough choice, but I'd have to go with Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a write-in candidate spot, right?
Yes, I think so. I believe
great.
so when you go to vote. Yeah.
Yep. So like no Guardians either. No Guardians of the Galaxy on this.
Yeah. That would have been
kind of surprised with that.
I would have gone for that.
Like Ratchet and Clank has been in like fucking every category. Like forget Deathloop. Like it's in every single category.
It's one of the most polished games of the year. You can't say, like it's incredibly polished game through it. It's a great experience.
I feel kind of bad for RE Village because I feel like it was a pretty great game. Like I had a good time in RE Village. It was good, but I mean, like it's surprising to see how many categories it's in. Like I didn't. It's weird. I don't feel like it's gonna win any.
Yeah.
Just kind of there.
Just kind of exist.
Yeah. Taking up a spot that I think other options would have been better. Which I feel bad saying that because it wasn't bad. It was solid.
Yeah.
Cohh, did you get a new chair, or did you cover your chair with green or something?
Oh no, I got a new red chair.
Okay.
And
I missed the Cohh titties.
Can't dance anymore.
He had a chair with a back with a curve on it. When he put it,
I'll add some in for
looked
you.
like he had, he had big titties hanging out.
Put some wings on each side
Jesus.
for you, so I can get my.
Got it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't. This one's. I guess my vote would go Ratchet and Clank, but in terms of what I think will win, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, this is not. There's no clear favorite, like in my opinion.
Because of how the voting is done, with what, like 10% of the audience being a factor, and the rest are critically voted. I could see Deathloop taking this because Deathloop was critically one of the best reviewed games of the year.
Yeah.
And so I could see it taking a lot of awards that we didn't even give it a shot for because it's critically so well done.
And I mean, dude, it's a good game. It's a really good game. It's everything they learned from Dishonored. Like, I'll be blunt. A lot of it is just Dishonored.
Yeah.
Even the powers are similar. But I mean, it's everything they learned from Dishonored with some really good voice acting and stuff. The narrative is super cool. The mechanics are interesting. It's a good game. It's not the best game, but it's a really, really good game.
Right. Yeah. I don't know why Elden Ring's network test isn't up here. That one seems to be missing from this list. So, they didn't get all of them right. But you got anyone? I'm gonna go with Deathloop wins this, not because I want it to win, but because I think it's going to win. Does anyone feel strongly about a decision?
I think Ratchet and Clank. I'm just going to go with what I think probably has the best chance. And since Ratchet and Clank is in every fucking category, I think maybe it's going to win this one.
I'm going to go a little bit different. And I'm going to say, just from the feedback I've noticed over today's show, and of course, the last few months, I'm going to say Metroid Dread. I think that it could take a category. And I think that it's an incredibly solid entry of a loved franchise. Everyone that I've seen played it has really enjoyed it. So maybe that's going to be the sleeper for Game of the Year.
That'd be cool if it did win, only because I feel like that community, not necessarily forgotten about, but it definitely took a while for Dread to like finally come out, if that makes sense. And they finally
For me,
got
it's on my rainy day list. It's
Yeah.
nice knowing that there's like a really good, solid game that's just out there to play if I ever need, to play it. Like Metroid Dread is definitely on my list at some point.
Yeah.
That's great.
And if you don't try and 100% it, like I know, like people are saying 100%ing it doesn't add that much time, but if you don't try to 100% it, it's easy to get through. Like you can complete it within a couple of streams.
Cool. Well, we'll see what happens with the Game Awards kicking off on December 9th from the Microsoft Theater.
December 9th?
Yep, one day after
no.
proper release of Endwalker, though early access is the 3rd, so we should be okay.
When's Infinite?
The 8th.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what time is it going to be?
Probably sometime
I'm
that night.
gonna piss my pants, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be on break when you get back. What time is the show?
Just save the date at the bottom. Can you click that?
I don't want to click something and then it shows like, this is your time where you live in blank. So hold on.
Fair point.
Save the date, add to calendar. What does that do? Yep, that 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. It did do it in states where 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central. So 7 to 11 Eastern. Late.
Okay. Yeah, I'll watch that. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be doing a
DF
restream
for
of it. Yeah, we'll restream it. Okay. We'll grab some folks and do a restream of that on the 9th. Yeah, we'll be knee deep in Halo, and I'll be coming off the Final Fantasy high. Hopefully, I haven't finished Final Fantasy by then, but we'll see.
You're going to be playing on the 3rd, right?
Yeah, they've said that it's going to be like a 70 to 80 hour game. So I don't know. That's a lot of time.
I mean, you are probably going to crack the hell out on it, though.
Yes, I will be going live at 3 a.m. Eastern when that game launches. And yeah,
I don't think I'm going to make it. I think I'm about halfway through Stormblood. I'm playing a few hours a day now, every day. And I just got up to slight spoilers. I'm gonna hold my. If you're working through Stormblood, don't listen. You've got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. I just got up to Doma Castle sinking. So, like, I think I'm a third halfway through Stormblood. I don't know.
You could definitely make it. I think you'll probably be, yeah. Because I think, honestly, once you hit Shadowbringers, you're going to most likely, you'll be streaming it more, and I think there's less games towards the end of November that I think are coming out.
True.
And I think viewership will spike up as well, so you'll be more inclined to stream it for that purpose, and also because Shadowbringer is the type of narrative where you just don't want to stop playing until it's over. So
I keep getting warned that.
Yeah. It was the type of game where, like, I started it and then I was gone for like 18 hours and then I slept and woke up and gone for another 18 hours. Like it's a very addictive story. So
cool.
I think you'll be able to make it.
I've heard from multiple people that Shadowbringers is so good that they're worried that it's so good that they're not going to enjoy Endwalker as much.
I am right there with them.
Yeah.
I actually have goosebumps thinking about how good Shadowbringers was at certain points. Woo! And I worry that they will not be able to like live up to how good it is or was.
With as much as I've heard about it, I can't wait to play it. If it is a fraction as good as I'm led to believe, I am going to absolutely love it.
I will say this. I've been saying it since Shadowbringers first came out years ago. It's one of the best narratives. And I've told that and I've hyped it up to a billion fucking people. And not one person has come back to me and said like, oh, you overhyped it. It wasn't that good. They've all said like, oh yeah, you did not overhype it.
Wow.
And that's like Jesse Cox. That's like a shit ton of viewers. That's a bunch of other streamers that have all played it. And the viewers have done the same thing that I've said. And they're like, no, you guys didn't overhype it. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Wow. I'm trying to think of like anything that I've been this hyped up to play. Like it's kind of wild. There's not hype. There's hyped up without knowing if it's good, like Cyberpunk hype, and then there's hyped up with people saying no, it's that good.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's been any other gaming experience that I've had this hyped for me, which is really interesting. Got a lot to live up for, man.
Yeah.
And I'm characteristically known for not looking at the positives or liking games, so it's going to be interesting to see how it goes.
Sure. Yeah. We'll see. Anyways, we're due for a break. We'll come back, talk some Battlefield, talk some Halo, see what Zeke's been up to. That's not Zeke. I thought that was Zeke for a second. I was very confused. It's like, Zeke, you're wearing some colorful pants. Oh, that's not Zeke. All right, we'll be right back.
Zeke, you have a nice We'll
see you guys in just a sec. More Death Frames coming up right after this. See you then.